It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Philadelphia 76ers at Wells Fargo Center. For Philadelphia, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. Kenny, I'll tell you what.
What?
We've already seen some big matchups to start this season. It's very early.
Yes.
But in the real world, how soon do you start thinking about playoff ramifications?
Oh, you start thinking about playoffs from day one. The
Oh,
end
come
goal
on.
is always some.
But you're not thinking about
it's
where you
always
are.
somewhere
Hey,
in
right
your
now
mind.
we'd play these guys.
Yes,
you know.
always. I look at them in 5-game blocks. I would be like, hey, man.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Coming to you live on 2K Sports, it's time for NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side are analysts Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. From the sideline, we'll have the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. The Philadelphia 76ers preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston. They were dominated last year, not a good matchup for them, going 1-3 in the season series.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
So what you look for in the first game, 1, does one team make a statement? And 2, how does the other team react to that?
And we've got time for a quick pregame report.
Good evening, Kevin. Sixers head coach Brett Brown has gone through the lean years in Philly, but his coaching philosophy stayed constant during that time. He said, who's playing hard? There's a certain type that we're trying to grow in a city like Philadelphia. We've got to find people who can gain respect by competing. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. And Philly loves guys that work hard, a great attitude to build your team around for sure. There are several clubs already enduring plenty of ups and downs. We see it every day in the league. How many games into the season does it take to know exactly what kind of team you've got and then where you need to proceed from that point on?
Well, I think obviously you typically see some level of separation between the championship contending teams almost in the first 20 games. If somebody's getting out to a 15-1 start, you know that typically speaking, they're going to be in it for the long haul. I think the fascinating aspect of the NBA season typically is in those 5 through maybe 10 slots in the respective Eastern and Western Conference, right? Yes. Because so often, Kevin, we're seeing 2 or 3 games separate maybe the 5th team from the 10th team. That means all of those teams are potential playoff teams. And what does the organization decide to do? Do they decide to try to make a run toward a playoff possibility? Or are they saying, boy, we don't really think we're there yet. Perhaps we need to think about what's our draft status.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Celtics. This is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Irving is out there with Smart. And it's Tatum in at the 3, the small forward. Fultz, no good. Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against Washington.
And look, it's always tough to win on the road. You've got to go in with the right mindset, and they did.
I think, Greg, they didn't let the crowd or the noise get to them, and they have to be happy with how they played and executed on the road in that one.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Basket counts.
Yeah, Al Horford really cleaning the window right now. He's just pounding away on the opponent.
Fultz kicks to Simmons. Over Morris. The 76ers with another miss. For Boston, they've gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Irving up top. He had 28 points in the win against Milwaukee.
And his big night wasn't limited to his offense. His steals numbers were way up there, and it was a special night for him in just about every way.
They get it back. Here's Simmons. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. And Tatum the bucket on the assist from Smart. Tatum's got his second basket of the night.
Well, Brad Stevens started his own preseason coaching summit in Boston. This guy is clearly dedicated to his craft. He's dedicated to learning from his peers. He is always watching games from every different angle to try to learn. He's fighting it in this quarter. Hasn't been able to get into any sort of groove.
Morris with the bucket. Morris has got his first 2 points.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And rumor has it Brad Stevens used to keep a pad of paper for every TV in the house to sketch plays that he saw in games.
Well, those were the old days. Now he can just text an assistant with the game and timestamp, and then he reviews a marathon edit of plays for things he can use. Oh, the beauty of technology.
Irving, good.
Oh, just tremendous range from Kyrie. If he steps across the half-court line, you better have a hand up.
Embiid with a screen on Irving. Here's Simmons. Goes straight to the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. That one on Horford.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
You know, that's why we say move without the basketball. You'll be rewarded.
One shot, gentlemen.
And Ben Simmons, who was the first pick in 2016 out of LSU, probably the most heralded player to come out of that school since the great Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, Simmons has drawn some comparisons to some other greats, most notably LeBron James and Magic Johnson. And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded closely. Embiid the screen. And the wide open shot from Redick. Had the space there, but it's offline. Greg, the Sixers want to ease him into it, but they see Ben Simmons not just as a point forward, but a point guard as well.
And he's got all the ability. Think about this. The Sixers haven't had a player 6'10 or taller average over 3 assists since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. The second they drafted Simmons, you knew that would change.
Moving against Covington. Dishes it to Embiid. Redick passes to Embiid and stolen by Horford. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Tatum. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The 76ers trail by 7. Fultz dishes to Redick. Poke loose. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. And the shot is good. Simmons got 5 now.
And all Simmons needs is a little bit of space. He's dynamite off the pass.
And now the first timeout called here for Boston. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you'd have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Sharch checked in for Embiid. Ilyasova comes in for Ben Simmons. Bellinelli, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Fultz. Here's Bellinelli after the basket by Boston. And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That's his first foul. And here are the 76ers now. 7-point differential. Shot clock at 6.
Yeah, 3 turnovers so far, and the real issue is the fact that they're unforced, too careless with the basketball. And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Celtics leading by 7. Pass to Tatum. Here's Rozier. They Kick out to Brown. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Ogilvy. Passes it to Rozier. From past the arc. Good on the triple.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
Celtics ball. Checking in for the 76ers, Amir Johnson.
"12 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Now here's Tatum. 4 seconds left. No good on the layup. And stolen by Tatum. And so it's the Boston Celtics going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. We'll return shortly. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
It has, Greg, no doubt. Love that they've gotten after it on the defensive end. Just continue to put pressure on.
Celtics leading by 10. The Celtics, the #1 seed in the East last season, and then go ahead and get the #1 pick in the draft from their trade with the Nets. Doris, when was the last time you saw anything like that?
I think the one I can remember back in 1982 when the Lakers were coming off the championship and yet had Cleveland's #1 pick and took James Worthy. The Celtics this year end up trading down and getting Jason Tatum and another pick. The rich appear to be getting richer.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Smart is out there with Irving, and it's Tatum in at the 3 spot. And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Here's McConnell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Johnson the screen. Now the pass to Ilyasova. That's tipped and stolen by Horford. Here's Tatum. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, you got to really do a better job on Tatum once he gets on the way up. Excellent at fighting his way through the defense there and still able to convert.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. On the free throw, no good. You know, Doris, when it comes to leadership, there are so many different ways to do it, different ways of leading among the players who are some of the more vocal leaders out there. Who do you have circled?
You know, I think leadership sometimes, Kevin, requires that you make your teammates uncomfortable, and that's not always easy to do. So the 2 guys that come to mind for me are both Chris Paul and LeBron James. One, they're going to hold themselves to an incredibly high standard. And unless you're willing to do that, it's hard to bring everybody with you. So in terms of leadership, the guys I like watching the most right now in the current NBA are both Chris Paul and LeBron James.
Great examples. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
And for the Sixers, trust the process was the motto. And the process now finally bearing fruit. You see the young talent. Now it's about figuring out how all these pieces fit together.
The dish to Saric. And Ilyasova kicks to Bellinelli. Just 4 to shoot. A shot by Johnson, no good.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Johnson. McConnell kicks to Bellinelli. Over Smart. That's in, and the Celtic lead is cut down to 10 on the bucket from Bellinelli. You were talking about the fit for these young Sixers. A bit of a logjam in recent seasons in their front court.
Yeah, I mean, they were in talent acquisition mode, just going for the best player available. And now as they see things taking shape, it's time to try and balance the roster.
Now McConnell, after Jason Tatum missed on that last three-pointer. McConnell with it. Now guarded by Smart. Stolen by Smart. And Irving with the basket on the assist from Smart. Smart's got 3 assists now in this one. Here's McConnell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. He dishes it to Ilyasova. Poked away and stolen by Tatum. And now Horford pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Well, those are the long strides that Al Horford takes. He gets to the hoop in no time.
And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Feeds to Ilyasova. It's Saric, top of the key. Here's McConnell. Here's Johnson. That shot missing. Good work defensively by Horford. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
I don't think the defense is much of a factor there. He just botches the finish.
Ilyasova passes to Johnson. And Boston with the rebound. Horford's got 6 rebounds here tonight. The Celtics working the ball around now. Morris with the bucket.
You know, Kev, this in part is why Al Horford is seen as such a terrific leader. His willingness to pass the basketball, to play unselfishly.
Now, here's McConnell. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That'll be his second foul of the game. Fultz, he's checked in for Ilyasova. And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played, they get a hand on it. And Morris comes over to help. Pocket 6. Back to Bellinelli. And here we go with Morris, running it up the court. And the shot goes down. Morris has got 4 points this quarter.
And guys, you'd have to say this run really triggered by their transition offense.
Here's Saric. To halt the run, he takes it up and lays it in.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Boy, you better be more physical on the glass because they wanted that rebound more than them, plain and simple. I'll tell you, he's been dry from three-point range in the second quarter after hitting one in the first.
Here's Fultz. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
And Fultz isn't bashful inside. He feels at ease shooting in the paint.
And you see Markelle Fultz and how he plays. Wasn't as hyped coming into college, but he changed that tune after 1 season.
And in that final year, Fultz grew a full 3 inches. I think that helped move him into the elite prospect range. At 6'5", with that 6'10" wingspan, he has the special size that you look for and really was the lone bright spot on an otherwise underachieving college team.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
You know, my guess right now is Coach wants to talk over this turnover issue. And it seems like they've been trying to force things a bit and need to find a steady rhythm offensively.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. Simmons comes in for Saric. Robert Covington's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. The Celtics also changing it up. Ojale is checked in for Marcus Morris. Brown comes in for Marcus Smart. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Irving. And, here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And for Joel Embiid, some real tough times to start his NBA career. Greg sidelined, as we know, for the first 2 seasons with injuries. And just when he got going in season 3, he was dealt a knee injury.
Yeah, it has not been easy. And remember, Joel Embiid is so competitive. You know, he came to the game late, but fell for it hard. And this is what he lives for, to be out on the court helping his team compete.
The free throw drops for Embiid. Celtics leading by 14. To the paint. Ojale, that's good. Ojeley's got his first points of the night.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
I think Brown demonstrating he's got a great understanding of the game. He keeps his head moving, his eyes open so he can spot the open man.
76ers have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
And continuing to cough it up here. The TOs threatening to cost these guys the game.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. And it's Rozier missing. The 76ers trail by 18. Pass to Fultz. Now the feed to Simmons. Outside, Redick. 5 on the clock. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. Takes the 13-footer, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Celtics out in front. They lead by 18. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what was your plan for tonight?
I was trying to get assists in the beginning, and I'm just having a good time out here. Got it going a little bit. Enjoying myself.
Okay, Kyrie, we'll see you in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Out in front at the half is Boston. They are in control of this game, up by 18. Kenny?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry feeds were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet and in.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Well, they're obviously facing a...
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
As we return to Philadelphia, we give you a scenic view of the downtown skyline of this terrific city. A stunning sight. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
I mean, he was prolific.
Celtics leading by 18. Covington and Simmons, the duo at forward. Fultz is out there with J.J. Redick, and it's Embiid in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Philadelphia with the ball.
Well, obviously a notable improvement for the Boston Celtics last season on the offensive end. Their shooting percentages pretty much up across the board.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Nice shot by Smart.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And Simmons kicks to Redick. There's the screen. For 3, Covington. Morris with the rebound. And when you look at the offensive improvement for the Celtics, Doris, last season, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think a number of things went into that, Kev, but the acquisition of Al Horford was crucial. This guy finished second on the team in assists, and he is also an excellent shooter. So he was able to affect winning with both his passing and his scoring ability.
Tatum dishes to Irving. And again, Boston with the triple.
Boy, when Irving is in rhythm from distance like he is, turn the lights out. Defense has no answer.
Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. And stolen by Irving. And pushing it up, here's Boston. And Embiid with the block. And even 3-on-3 break. Knocked loose. Covington with it. Now guarded by Tatum. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
And maybe pushing too hard at this point, getting a little desperate.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they're forcing it. They're trying to make quick, hard decisions instead of focusing on making the right play.
Boston making a switch here. Baines is checked in. Back to Smart. Three-pointer. Sinks the triple. Smart's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Celtics.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Timeout called the 76ers. Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor do for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. Volts kicks to Simmons. Outside Irving. Here's Horford. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got his 6th assist on the night.
Wow, come on now. If Al Horford, if he's this close, the D is toast.
Tipped away and stolen by Kyrie Irving. On up the court. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Oh, since the break, his efficiency has gone up a notch, looking really polished now.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the 76ers with some changes. Saric is checked in for Embiid. Ilyasova comes in for Simmons. And it's Bellinelli in for Robert Covington. Jaylen Brown's checked in for the Celtics. Rozier comes in for Smart.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Irving. And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward.
And Redick kicks to Saric. He feeds it to Bellinelli. Screen by Saric. Clock at 6. Dishes it to Ilyasova. The shot missing.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Greg, I think this other team is just in a zone right now. They're clicking on the offensive end, and the defense starting to look frustrated.
The 76ers have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. A very slow start offensively. And Bellinelli kicks to Redick. Pass to Fultz. Shot to stop the drought, and it's good on the way in. Fultz has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Oh, my, I didn't know he had the crossover in his bag of tricks. Now, I've seen it all.
Inside, here's Rozier. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Well, there's no doubt this quarter has been all about them. They've come out hot, and they're not showing any signs of letting up.
Ilyasova passes to Bellinelli. Fultz dishes to Saric. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And here we can check out the breakdown of rebounds tonight between the front court and the back court for the 76ers.
And the bigs are getting their lion's share of the rebounds. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do, but they've got bigger issues right now and other holes to fill if they're going to stage a comeback.
First free throw is good.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years, and a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
The 76ers making a switch here. McConnell's checked in. Passes to Rozier. From deep. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity. Treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. Now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleash chaos moment. Saric against Monroe. Up top, McConnell. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
Here's Rozier. Tice. Banked in off the glass.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
And Saric kicks to Ilyasova. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ilyasova's got 6 points.
Boy, the bounce pass put right on the money. Nice assist.
The Celtics shooting 65%, an outstanding offensive display from them. And the pass to Rozier. From deep three-point range. Rebound by the 76ers. Saric has got his 4th rebound in this one. Redick for 3. No good there. What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been the story for the Boston Celtics. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. And we'll be right back after this. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. '76ers shooting around 41% on the night. On the court for the Celtics, they've got Ogilvy. Monroe is out there with Rozier, and it's Nader in at the 2. And the outcome of the collective bargaining agreement and a potential 11-year stretch of labor peace, one of the longest in league history. Doris, what does that mean for this great game of ours?
Well, it means certainly that we can all take a sigh of relief. Everybody wants to play basketball and see basketball played. So great for the players, their representation, great for the league, and certainly great for the fans and the television partners.
And Doris, I sense such fairness on both ends, too. It really is a partnership.
You know, I think it would be wise for both the players and the ownership to remember they need each other to peacefully coexist and to thrive. And when you're trying to get an agreement that does the best by both parties, this is what you can have. You can have a long stretch of labor peace that makes everyone happy.
Well said.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And there's Johnson. That's good on the assist by Anderson.
Well, Amir Johnson's so smart down there on the box. This guy is clever getting whatever shot he wants.
To the inside. Stripped away. Luwawu, the pass to McConnell. Here's Holmes. Craig Monroe with the rebound. 4th quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Out to the right wing. Here's Ogilvy, defended by Anderson. Rozier misses the 3. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin. And obviously, Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. Now here's Smart. He's covered by McConnell. Count it. Good.
Oh, Kevin, don't you love how unselfish Marcus Smart is? Sees the open man, whips the pass over in just the right amount of space.
And Anderson kicks to Holmes. Here's Johnson. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Johnson's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Doris, with so many one-and-dones entering the NBA, do you think expectations are too high for these guys, especially from the fans?
I don't, Kevin. I think it depends on the talent that we're talking about. You know, I know Joel Embiid is a guy who didn't necessarily start right away, but when he was finally able to be healthy, it certainly didn't take him long to become a factor on the NBA level. No, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think these guys are accustomed to expectations, and frankly, their personal expectations are probably higher than ours.
I mean, look at the elite of these high school kids who have been playing like in front of big crowds on a big stage for so long. It's second nature to them, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin.
Anderson passes to Luau. Anderson the screen. Clock at 4. Doris, the revenue-generating streams for players these days, more endorsements, acting opportunities, event appearances, you name it. What impact do you think that has had on the evolution of guys wanting to play in big markets, big cities?
You know, I think the world is smaller, and so it's not necessarily a requirement to be in a large market in order to have some marketing success. You know, you look at any number of stars, even Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City, he's pitching any number of major companies because of the level of talent. So I think it's been a good thing. I think it really comes down to where are these players comfortable. It's much more about organization and opportunity to win than it is city.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Now, here's McConnell. He's covered by Irving. Johnson down low. Baines is there. Johnson can't hit.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the easy 2 points, but the defense recovers just in time to affect it.
It's good.
How about Marcus Smart gets into the heart of the defense, keeps his balance, even with the defense in his grill. That is really nicely done.
Knocks it loose. McConnell kicks to Anderson. Trying to find Holmes. Gets it to him. Baines with the block. They recover it. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Doris, one trend we've seen in the league, an emphasis on getting back defensively rather than pounding the offensive glass. I think of San Antonio a little bit when I think about that. Why is that, you think?
You know, I don't know if this is something cyclical and we'll eventually see teams emphasize getting to the offensive glass as a means to help them win. But one of the most dangerous aspects of the NBA right now is transition 3 opportunities. We're not even seeing teams get back to the hoop and build their defense out. At this point, they're sprinting to the 3-point line and then building back toward the hoop. So a drastic difference. We'll see if it changes at any point.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. And it's Bellinelli in for Luau Cabarro. Here's Brown. Here's Smart. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. He has a scorching 86%.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Boston.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Kyrie Irving.
Boy, I love the priority he placed on his passing tonight. It inspired great player movement, great ball movement. It seemed to me they knew they were going to get an easy bucket on every possession.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. It's Brown with the drive. Good, and Smart gets the assist.
And on the road, silencing the crowd. What a dominant performance.
Well, they took control of this game from the outset, a commanding all-around performance and an important road win.
The shot by Bellinelli, no good. Outside Irving. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. With Kyrie Irving, it's early in the season, so what's the most important thing to getting off on the right foot?
Great days of practice, honestly, and being prepared. Always communicating and trusting each other. That's going to be the biggest word for us this year is trust. Like I said, consistency and trust.
We will see. It's a long season if you can get that done, Kyrie. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.